in my mind, in my head. This is where we
What's up, guys?
are.
This is Chris Kish. We're here with the Sights and Sounds and Melbourne's EDM duo, Feenixpawl. What's up, guys? How are we doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
All right, this is Aiden and Josh. And right as we jump off with this, I kind of just want to get it started. A lot of Americans love doing the Australian accent. Throw a shrimp on the Barbie. So we're going to go ahead and get it over with. Can you guys give me your best American impersonation?
I don't think Americans that hard.
No.
Is American that hard?
It's pretty hard.
Watching American people try and do like an Australian accent, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But
Is it? You sort of sound
Southern. I'm
Yeah. I don't know. But you
See, shrimp on the Barbie doesn't exist in Australia. We don't know what that is.
No, and neither does Foster's beer. I learned.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's got nothing to do with Australia pretty
Nah,
much
a
whatsoever
damn thing.
anymore.
But I mean, yeah, Australian accent, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to anyone else in the world except for us. And people say they love it. We don't necessarily love it.
Fair enough. Now, I'm in Australia quite a bit. I go every other week. So when I go down there, I have to get my Harry's Cafe de Wheels. It's kind of a big thing in Australia. What's your staple food when you guys are on tour? What do you have to have with you?
Right.
While we're touring, after gigs, I like to get a lamb souvlaki.
That's the second time you said
That's the second time I've said it. Well, people keep asking.
I mean, I love my chicken. I mean, it doesn't matter where I am. We have to have that chicken.
Are you saying anything specifically Australian?
Just specifically in general. Maybe your Nutella?
Specifically in general, that's a good one.
No, we don't really have like a Nutella fetish or anything like that.
No, we're not like Dirty South.
Just, I don't know, we spend a lot of time in hotels and it's usually the same thing. There's usually a lot of Snickers and Pringles and I think I'm used to that now.
Yeah.
So when it's not there, I freak out a little bit, so I guess that might be, my thing.
Yeah, sure, fair enough.
Cool. So what's going on with you guys recently? What's in the pipeline? What have you guys been up to? What can we expect from Feenixpawl next?
Well, we've been working on a lot of music, since, obviously in my mind, we've only released Universe, but we've been working on a whole bunch of stuff, we've been collaborating, and sort of everything's finished at once, so we've got a whole bunch of tracks ready to go, but we're sort of timing them, when the best time to come out is, and finding them homes, but we've got a track coming out with his brother, called Together,
Cool.
And we just got a remix back from Marco V, and that's a cracker of a remix. It's a really,
We'll play
really
that.
good remix. We'll play it tonight.
Cool.
And then after that,
I'm sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead.
go. Yeah,
When can we expect that to drop?
Well, we're pushing it as hard as possible.
because we're
Come out
touring
soon.
Sure.
for the next 4 months or so. So we want it to come out during this tour. Hopefully in the next 4 weeks, ideally.
Yeah.
If we can
So we'll
push it
see if
through.
we can get that done.
Yeah.
Well, we did another track with Ivan Goff.
Yeah. Got to follow up with Ivan. We've got another track with a DJ called Trevor Simpson from San Francisco. A couple of tracks, it's just Feenixpawl. But yeah, it's just, again, it's timing and trying to find the right homes for it.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Speaking of In My Mind, when you guys finished In My Mind, did you guys know right away that was going to be a big hit, or did it kind of sink in afterward?
We never knew it was going to be as big as it was, but I think even after the first session, we'd worked with Georgie. I remember calling Ivan and I was listening to him at home, just going, "There's definitely something in this. This is different enough."
We thought it was pretty special. It's just how special really.
I mean, who would? We never thought it would do what it had done, and it took a little while to finish. I mean, the first few days we were working on it was really fast, and it was basically done. And that's after we sent it to Axwell. But after that, there was a lot of tweaking, and sort of going back and looking at things because I don't think we'd really realised what we'd done until Axwell started to get really behind it. It was like, okay, well, maybe we should, make this perfect or try and fix this. But there was never any point where we realised that he was going to do what it did.
And I imagine it's a cool feeling when Axel calls you up and says, "Hey, we want your
Man,
track."
It was a
Crazy.
great feeling.
I mean, Ivan sent it to him and we didn't really tell us that he was going to do that. And we were just like, "What are you doing? Like, it's not finished. Like, why would you do that?" And it worked out, so I can't really...
I came home and he was like, I had gone to get lunch. We were living together, and I walked into the hallway, and he skids across the wood floors like Tom Cruise in Risky Business.
Yeah.
And he skids across and he goes, Axwell said yes. I go, get that out of here.
It was a real fan moment.
Yeah, it was.
So give me a little insight into your song making. How do you guys typically start writing or coming up with a new song or a new?
We have no formula.
It's always different.
We just wing it. Yeah, if we have an idea for a melody or a kick or a bass, and
it's just we don't have a certain way we do it because we always want it to be different. And if we had like a formula, I think it would all start to sound the same. And it's nobody wants to hear that. You might be a fan of our music, but you don't want every song to be exactly the same. So we always approach it differently. Sometimes it's like an idea we've had for a long time, and now we're finally putting it down. Or sometimes it's sort of, okay, we haven't released any songs for a while. Maybe we should start making some music, and then it starts with a kick. So it's always different, and especially that's why we like doing remixes, because it's a completely different way of making music, because you get parts from all over the place and you get to choose which ones you like, which ones you don't like, and which way you're gonna, which direction you're gonna go, and that sort of makes us change the way we do things a lot. So we always take on remixes that we want to do, that we can do, that we hear something in, but it's never the same. It's always different.
Okay, cool.
okay.
Would you rather?
Oh, what a game!
This is good.
No. Would you rather, when you die, hang out on Earth as a ghost or reincarnate as something else? Now you get to pick what you reincarnate as.
You get to pick?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'd rather reincarnate for sure. What am I going to do as a ghost? Just hang around and spook people?
I mean, that could be fun for some people.
It could be fun for some people, I guess.
Can you does it have to be human being and then choice of human being, or just an
It
animal?
could be anything. I'll leave it up to you.
Can I be in,
Yeah, I already reincarnated as a human being and ridiculously good looking and an actor and musician and magician.
And a magician?
Yeah, all of those things.
So,
no, I think
what you're saying is you want to be James Franco.
Yeah, right.
Basically. Perfect. Okay.
I would definitely reincarnate, for sure. But I don't know if I'd come back as a human being necessarily. Maybe an eagle or something. As long as I'm not getting shot.
Well,
I have a pretty sweet life. Right?
Yeah, I guess. You can't pick the stipulations of what you come back as. If you're an eagle, you take the risk of getting shot.
Can I choose the country in which I come back in?
No.
Do they have eagles in Australia? I don't think they get shot. You should know this.
Just because I'm from Australia, you're like, I'm not Steve Irwin.
I watch a lot of wildlife stuff, and there's not many animals out there that have like zero natural predators other than man. So I'm trying to choose one that's,
Just be man.
Before I got here, I love this Facebook page called I Fucking Love Science, right?
Yeah.
And they had this bald eagle where it had been shot in the face and half its beak had been shot off, and then an American surgeon came in and gave it a new beak. Anyway, that's all right.
I've never heard of such a thing.
It's got everything to do with the question that he asked.
Oh, man. So reincarnation.
Reincarnation. That's what we picked.
Now, if time weren't a factor, guys, who would you like to write a song with?
Well, I've always said either Florence from Florence Machine or Stevie Nicks. I've always been a fan of Fleetwood Mac, obviously the best band ever, and Florence is, in my opinion, sort of the newer version of that sound. And I think when she's on a house track, whether it's a remix or an original, it sounds different, but in the same way it makes sense when you hear it at a festival or something. I think the Swedes were the first one to use a Florence track over the top of a house track, and I remember hearing that, just thinking, this sounds so good, this is so epic.
It's just epic.
And it's not necessarily a diva kind of thing. I've always wanted to do that. There's other artists. I mean, there's always going to be artists. People like Coldplay, if you can collaborate rather than just remixing them.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're dreams. It's
one can dream
happen anytime soon.
Michael Jackson.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah, for sure. I reckon we could do something special together.
And this is kind of back to serious. What's the advantage to working as a duo as opposed to working by yourself?
Well, because we tour so much now. I mean, we've got a lot of mates back home with DJs and this and that, but they tell us how boring it is to travel on their own.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's also boring and lonely.
It's just lonely. But we're blessed and we get to, we're best mates and we get to travel together and experience things together, and it's
sometimes
fantastic.
it's tiring. I mean, it's good fun. We have a really good life, but sometimes you're getting on a plane and you're playing a gig, and then you got to get on another plane straight away, and it's kind of just drains you, and you need someone else to help.
You need that other person to go, get the fuck up, come on, let's do it.
with production, I mean, it means we don't get stale. There's always an outside perspective.
We can always bounce off each other, and
I always wonder how people make so much music on their own, especially if you're doing an album. Because if you don't have anyone else from the outside telling you their opinion, you just get trapped in your own world and you just end up making just what you're focusing on. It's not necessarily a good idea. So that's I think the advantage of our production.
Very cool. Sure. What's your spirit animal? If you could
This is
I was
an
gonna say-
eagle.
I'm actually going to say,
With all the
I was going to say Coyote from that
The
Simpsons episode. That's his first thing that came to my head. I watched way too many
My
cartoons.
spirit animal. It would be an eagle. I think when I grew up, I used to have an eagle pendant. I've got an eagle ring. But when I grew up, my dad always told me that he said, be like an eagle. Cause
Really?
You don't flock.
You sit there, you bag me about my whole story.
I'm bagging you because you're talking about an eagle's beak being shot off. It had nothing to do with anything. No, when I grew up, my dad always said, be like an eagle because you don't flock. There's no flocks of eagles. You're always flying alone and you don't follow anyone else.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think mine would be Phoenix because that's my middle name.
That's a good one. It's his middle name.
It works.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome, guys. Well, we appreciate hanging out.
No worries.
We can't wait to see your set. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
How you doing? We're Feenixpawl.
And we're here with Sights and Sounds.